here today with Beverly Akhurst, who is the owner of Ocean Breath Wellness. And if there's anything that's important these days, it's the care of our own selves and our well-being. So Beverly would be a wonderful person to connect with and talk to. So let's start by asking you a few questions. What is Ocean Breath?
Good morning, Angie. Lovely to be here. Ocean Breath. Yeah, that's a big question. So Ocean Breath Wellness started as simply yoga and has become so much more. Yoga itself is everything. It's not just poses, and wellness comes from the root word that is well-being, and it's also the basis of art and creativity. So it comes from the aspect of us taking care of ourselves through all the possibilities, all the things available through our yoga, and uniting them. I call myself Ocean Breath because one of my teachers, my dearest teachers, Max Strom, who's my breathing teacher, he calls the big breath that you hear and you sometimes experience in yoga ocean breath. It's originally called Ujjayi breath, which is victorious, but you know, we're not trying to slay anything right now except our lives. So ocean breath is a better connotation of how the breath moves through us and how we could move through life with that gentle ease.
Nice. And what got you started on this path?
Oh, the original thing that started me on the path was like everybody else, I needed to stretch. I was about 30, buses were on strike, and I was having to rollerblade 20 kilometers a day to work. So I really needed to stretch. And it took me no more than about 2 weeks of doing some yoga to realize it was far more than stretching. And I've continued on the journey, and the real thing that has taken me into doing this as my way of offering to the world, this is my career, this is my job, if you would, but it's also the thing that I've been put on this earth to do. I chose to do this in my 40s because my father ended up with pancreatic cancer. As many people know, that's not one that's very survivable, which he did not survive. It was a long 5 months of watching him struggle through it and myself realizing how much what I had within yoga could offer to people, not just the people with cancer or going through difficult times, but the people that are living with them, the people that are supporting them, what it could offer to them. As my mother and I moved through the experience, my sisters live farther away, we both got very tired. And even though it would seem like the journey of my father was the thing that pointed me here, it was what happened not long after. After my father passed away and my very tired body had a chance to take a break, I ended up on the cardiac unit of 2 separate hospitals, 2 separate times. And the second one, they kept me there for nearly a week, attached to all the machines with a heart rate they said should be somebody who's dead or at least 80 years old. And I went, oh, okay. And what I did was lie there for nearly 7 days and sleep about 22 hours a day. And at the end of those days, I woke up, heart was good. I walked out of the hospital fine. They wanted to operate and burn out a piece of my heart, burn it out. And I went back to my yoga. I still have all the bits of my heart, except the ones that we lose along the way sometimes. But it is intact. I am intact, and I am much stronger for the experience. At that point, I decided that a job does not have to be a thing that you go to wishing you could be somewhere else. I decided to step into the thing that I got the most out of, that provided me the most benefits in my life, and move forward and share it with other people. And that's when I started this journey.
So you're one of the lucky ones to have found their true calling in life. And even as we speak, I feel so relaxed and so grounded. So even through a computer screen, your energy definitely sort of conveys. So yeah.
That is my goal.
Well, I'm no doubt you're successful at it. Um, so let's talk a little bit about yoga, because it seems that a lot of people misunderstand the true essence of what it is. Can you touch on that and just give people a more generalization so it's not such a scary word?
Oh, I know. So there's a couple of things that pop up when people hear yoga. They picture the studio with the hot, sweaty bodies all doing headstands, and they run screaming the opposite direction, or they go, woohoo, now there's a workout. Or they picture a lot of people going, om, om, om. And, oh my God, it's the hippie folk, and run screaming the opposite direction. Or they go, that's it, I'm quitting life and stepping into this. Yoga is, sure, it's all of that, but it's none of that as well. Yoga isn't what you've been seeing on magazine covers and TVs and by windows that you walk by that are trying to promote something. Yoga is so much more than the poses and the stretches. That part is wonderful. It really, truly is. It is part of 8 limbs of yoga, though. 8 limbs. The asana, the poses, those movements in the body are one. They're to help you wake everything up, move, breathe, stretch, so that everything else is possible. Imagine it, if you're sitting at a desk all day long, if you're sitting in a chair and then you're trying to connect to something that's deeper, you want to know what it is you really need, you want to be able to breathe, it's impossible until you open up the lines of communication, stretch, breathe. So that part's great, but there's so much more. Yoga is, the actual word itself, yoga, is from yug. And yug means to yoke, not as in egg yolk, as in a bull to the cart. The thing that pulls something, the things that work together to move us through. You take them and you put them together. So this is reminding you, yoga is about helping you reconnect to everything that you are, everything that you can be, everything that moves you through life. Everything outside of us has been geared and planned to distract us from us, because you can't be a good consumer, you can't be a good person within an economy if you get what it is you really truly need, what gives you the most joy, what matters to you. Every single person is built differently. Every bone in your body is built differently. Every experience you have had in your life is your own unique experience, nobody else's. Every memory, every breath you take, everything about you, so incredibly different and amazing. No labels, amazing. And yet we're told, everybody do this and you'll all do better. So yoga is about reminding you to figure out what it is that matters for you in your life. What matters for this body? How do you feel good? Remember how to breathe so that you can go through life with a little more ease, less stress, less distracted. Get in control of all these senses and minds. Don't let, I smell McDonald's fries, gotta have them. Because why? Why do you have to have them? Do you understand? Do you really want them, or is it something you've been trained to? So all of this gives you this amazing experience, sitting, meditating. Again, it doesn't have to be om, om. You can meditate by standing under a tree and just breathing in the air. But all of it leads you to this one possible moment where all of a sudden you go, oh my God, this doesn't run me. I'm in control, and it is beautiful. Everything I have experienced up to this moment in time, everything that's coming is beautiful. And then life starts again, and it's okay. And it just goes around and yokes it all back together. Does that help?
Very clear. It can make things make it like it's all okay, and it really is.
It really is. Yeah.
So how and what capacity do you offer this to other people? I know you run classes right now, obviously more online, but
Yeah.
in general, what are your offerings?
Well, the classes are definitely there. I should say still there. I immediately, with COVID, moved everything online. It was a whole new learning experience for a yoga teacher. But the online is a small piece of what I do. I've moved so far into what I share that most people who come to my classes, the first time they come in they say, I've never quite done any of that in yoga. And the people who've been with me for quite a long time always say, how in the world do we always do a class and it's never the same? Guess what? The world is full of multitudes of possibilities. So I offer group classes, and I think I'm going to keep them online for now because it works so much better for people within their lives, in the context of their lives. I'm very able to help them online. I can see what everyone's doing. I can hear, I can experience. I also, those are very few classes. I also offer a couple of outdoor classes, and those will never stop. They are live. Everybody separates and they're in the trees. We don't do it out in the field unless there's nothing else available. They're in the trees, because that's another one of my offerings beyond yoga is forest bathing, in Japan called Shinrin-yoku. It's about getting out into nature and absorbing and finding the full benefits of nature. It is scientifically proven. There have been multitudes of studies that being within trees creates a calming effect, reduces stress. For people with chronic heart disease, diabetes, and other health issues, it has an immediate effect. Natural killer cells increase when you spend just a few hours in nature. Natural killer cells actually fight cancers and other diseases. Inflammation reduces, and you get all the benefits of all the pinene and terpenes that drop down from the trees when we breathe them in. Trees are part of our family. They are there to support us. Nature is there to support us. So I still do those classes. And then beyond that, I do a lot of privates. That is my passion. Having a group class is wonderful. There's a community, there's a connection, but working one-on-one with somebody, I sometimes have to admit that I will be in tears during or after a class because of what happens for people. My joy, my passion, and passion comes from the root word for patience. My joy and passion come from seeing people actually understand that they are worth so much more than they've ever believed up to this moment. From seeing people understand that they can be in a healthier body, that they can breathe, that they are beautiful. From seeing people understand that what they need, not want, what they need matters. And if we taught kids this when they were 5 and 6, I can't even imagine what the world would look like. So I don't care if somebody's 30, if they're 50, if they're 70 or 80, at any point in anyone's life, you're allowed to actually have that experience, to know that you are allowed to just be okay with who you are and this beautiful body that you were put in, that you were gifted for this lifetime. You chose it. Embrace it. It's teaching you so many things. So I do a lot of private sessions, and my stage that I've moved into gently over the past couple of years that I want to go deeper into is more corporate stuff, because corporation, the word itself comes from core, the body. So if you were to treat businesses like an actual living cellular body, and each department within it as if it's a piece of the body, HR, the heart, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And your mind, there's the CEO, all these different areas. If they could then become healthy in themselves, within their spaces, learn how to express themselves, Express, use your voice. I'm not talking like this. I'm talking like this because you can breathe and use your voice. You can present yourself so that people listen to you, so you feel empowered when you are stepping into the things that you know. That's my next goal, is to really have companies embrace this and understand this connection to our natural beings.
Oh, amazing. So quick question for you. Where is your favorite place in nature?
Oh, I'm giving away my secret. I can't say there's a favorite. I really can't say there's a favorite. I have been a lot of places in the world, and anywhere that there's nature is my favorite place.
Great answer.
It is. We are nature. Look at how we're built. Our nerve system works. You look at the mycelium under the earth and it looks the same as our nerve system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything in us is so similar and so fed by nature. I can walk out the door just down the street, step against a tree that's out by the sidewalk, and I'm so happy. I'm in nature. I will say, for health purposes, we are in one of the most amazing places. One of my favorite people is a woman named Diana Beresford Kruger. She lives in Ontario. She is in her 80s, I do believe, last of the line of Druids. But she's also a botanist. She is a cancer specialist. She is a doctor who we should have on our bills, on our money. She is that amazing with the things she's done. And she has written about all the trees we have in Canada and around the world and how we need to regenerate them to keep a healthy world. And the West Coast has the best trees for our health. There's the cedars and the hemlocks and the white pines. You name it, they are out there. And all you need to do is go stand under them, breathe deep, especially from about March to October, and you'll absorb the benefits. Willow trees, if you're feeling a little depressed and down right now, willow trees give it the same thing that you get from aspirin. They help boost your lightness of energy.
I did not know that.
I know, there's so many secrets trees have.
All the more reason to connect with you.
Yeah.
So if people do want to connect with you and go a little bit deeper with all of this,
Yes.
what is the best way to reach out?
The best way, if you want to join an online class, I've just got a few of them. You can go to OCEANBREATHYOGA.CA/engage, and all the classes are listed there, and you can just book and join us online through Zoom. You don't have to know a lot about technology to do it. You just have to have something and tilt it towards the floor. You don't need all the yoga props. They are just another thing that the economy has come up with. You can use stuff you got at home. You've got everything you need. So it's sure, you got them, use them. If you don't. So you can do the online classes. If you would like to join the outdoor class, I keep it limited so that everyone can hear and everyone can have a really deep experience. But if there's enough people that want to do it, I will be starting another one now that the weather's a bit different. I find not as many people want to go out in the rain as we do. For all the other things, please, same thing, you can look online, OCEANBREATHYOGA.CA, for all the offerings I have. But please, best way for you to figure out what's best for you and whether or not you and I connect, like with us talking, we realize we connected. But anybody, as much as I should be the right person for you, I need to be able to connect with you in order to be the best guide for you. So the best way is to call me, 778, I don't mind putting my number out there, 230-4019, or just email and then we can have a conversation on Zoom or something else. It really needs to work for you. And a lot of the time, people don't even know what it is they're trying to figure out to get. So the best way, again, is through a conversation to figure out, you think maybe it's stretching, maybe it's breathing, maybe it's just a deep sleep. Literally, sometimes people just need a deep sleep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now more than ever is such a great time. If people have been reluctant to try yoga or a little bit shy to join a group class, this is such a beautiful time to be able to connect with a teacher one-on-one. And
It definitely is. And if we have time to talk about that, so the past couple of months, and it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter where in the world, anyone seeing this, it doesn't matter where you are, everyone has gone through this experience. And the last couple of months can be seen as either very stressful. For a lot of people, a lot of grief have come up, and other people have gone, oh my God, and they're not sure why, but they were just so happy to have it all stop. Everyone, again, has their own experience. But what the last couple of months has provided is an opportunity, whatever your emotional experience is, to look around and notice how different things can be when it slows down. When the sound deadens. When your senses can now be living the world around you. Where you can hear with your heart rather than your ears. Where you can see things by how you hear them or smell them. We've been given an opportunity to see the possibility, just a little glimpse of it. And now things are ramping up. And even I noticed yesterday when I was walking, I couldn't hear the birds again. There was so much traffic, horns honking, stereos cranked. People's heads are back in their phones and they're walking into each other again on the sidewalk. Is it a bad thing, good thing? There's no label. But I'm offering the possibility that you don't have to dive into what you knew. You don't have to turn back the clock 2 months. There is no such thing. We can't turn back. Some things have changed. So if somewhere inside there was something that was resonating and you were going, oh, how do I hang on? You don't need to grip. You literally don't need to grip. It's okay if the traffic starts. It's okay if everything starts. You get to choose. Everybody gets to choose how they step back into this. You can slow down a bit. And if you liked that bits of quiet, if you like the birds, then every day find a way to go, find somewhere to stand and breathe. Feel the earth. Look at people when you walk down the sidewalk. Make a conscious effort to put your phone in your purse, in your pocket, just for a little while, and make eye contact with people. Look at them in the eye, smile, and see how different you feel. See how different they look like they feel. It doesn't take a lot. None of this really takes a lot, but we've been offered that Alice through the looking glass moment of seeing another possibility. What do you want to make of it?
very good question.
Yeah, because I don't have the answer for everybody. That's the wonderful part. I don't have all the answers, never will, never have. But you have to start to trust your answers.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that. And it was really nice to connect with you and really nice to meet you.
You as well, Angie.
Yeah. What else can I say? I feel in such a state of zen right now just from speaking with you.
I'm so glad. And this has been wonderful. And I have to add one thing, that next piece I'm adding on to what I do is storytelling. Because when you start telling your stories, you come to life. Everybody has stories. Everybody. Your entire life is a story.
Yeah.
And you learn so much from them. So this is just you and I sharing a story time, I feel like.